Here we go.
Sharing, because sharing
We're
is
live.
Oh,
Hey, we're live.
I'm alive.
I'm alive. Hey, everybody. John Paduchak.
The infamous Dr. Christopher Vogelman here.
That's right.
Of stage, screen, and actually, a long time ago, television.
I don't play an actor on TV.
I play a doctor in the office.
There you go. Well, you can do that. Yeah, so we had such a great time live streaming the other day. We decided to do it again. In fact, we enjoyed it so much, we may do it even more than again. We may just do it away. That's what we're talking about now. So today, we're going to do something very unusual. I'm going to put in the comments if anybody wants to come and join Dr. Vogelman and I.
Oh, that's cool.
You guys can come join in. And I will
find a way to share, because I know that sharing is caring. So
sharing is caring. So go ahead and share.
I will.
So I posted the link. So if anybody wants to come in and join us, you can click that link, and we'll invite you in. So if somewhere along you like what we're talking about, you want to come and be part of the conversation, we'll give you your 2 or 3 minutes of fame.
2 or 3. I thought you were going to get 15. Andy Warhol said, or no, it wasn't Andy Warhol. Who was it who said that you could get?
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
So today we decided we're going to talk about social media.
Yes.
And I know that could be a tricky subject to talk about, but yeah, so we were talking about the different places that we hang out and who's going to be left over after everything goes away, kind of thing. So
people.
Oh, Marie, hey, we got people showing up. Cool. We got 6 people. Hey, Marie. So yeah, so we were just talking about what's going to happen with social media, who's going to be left over, and Dr. V was sharing with me that Gary V was talking about. He says he thinks at the end of the day, Instagram, YouTube, and
he's big on TikTok. I don't understand TikTok.
I haven't really played on TikTok at all. I've heard a little bit about it, but
yeah. I have a total of 9 or 10 followers, but I've done very little. I don't dance.
It's a good start, and you've got a lot going on.
It's not a bad start.
You've got a lot going on Pinterest. I think Pinterest is around to stay.
Yeah, but Pinterest is more of a, it's really is a search engine, because we actually, in our digital agency, my wife is like the Pinterest queen. She's written, she has 3 courses, actually 3 editions of the same course, and we've got a lot of Pinterest clients. But it really is more of a search engine, because, the guy who started Pinterest was a former Google guy.
Right. And did I tell you what somebody wants me to do on one of my live streams?
Yeah.
Make sauerkraut.
Oh, boy. My German mother would have loved that.
Isn't that what your wife does, is cook on?
Well, yeah, we did that. We abandoned it, though. I was her producer for her live Mexican cooking show for about a year. And about a year ago, we abandoned it because it wasn't getting much reach. But what's interesting is that the saved videos were getting a lot of views. And, it only drove maybe, I want to say it was like under 3% traffic to her Mexican food blog, which is in JohnPaduchak.com, for those of you who want authentic Mexican cuisine. Anyway, but she's so great on the camera. Her lives were spectacular, but we had a lot of technical issues, and just the reach just seemed to not be there. I was really surprised. Yeah. I mean, maybe her audience, doesn't use Facebook that much. I mean, because her Instagram is blowing up right now.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. Everybody's different. So I'm still trying to find where to share you. That's just so crazy. Let me run to your profile. I think I shared the wrong one.
That's one of the
there we are.
That's what I'm looking for right now is
share.
Making sure we're sharing.
It's asking me to start a watch party. That's hysterical.
I know you can do so many things.
I can share to my story, which I just did. That's kind of interesting. I can share to, it's shared to my story. That's interesting. I can share to a group. Now, which group? I don't want to do that. I'll share to the public, which is my timeline. I've never done this kind of stuff before in terms of the sharing part. And it's not that I'm selfish. It's that I was always afraid that I'd click the wrong button. So
we've been testing out all the streaming platforms this week. We tested Be Live on Thursday.
Yep.
We used Be Live on Thursday. Today we're on StreamYard.
Yep.
Want to see what some of the ins and outs of them are. And I posted the link today if anybody wants to join us in the comments.
Cool. Oh, I have to do that too. I was going to post to my.
Join us in the comments.
Yeah, I'm trying to post to my Dr. Vogelman group.
Oh, actually, that's weird. So when I posted the link in the comments, it looks like it posted it on YouTube.
Oh, that's interesting.
And not in Facebook. So that's interesting.
So did it automatically? It automatically posted to wherever you're streaming.
It posted it right. We're streaming in both places.
And
so StreamYard lets you stream in multiple places. So today we're streaming this broadcast on Facebook on my profile and my personal profile, and then on YouTube. So we're just trying that out today.
I've been sharing to
on your end.
Yeah,
getting frozen now. Are we still frozen?
No. Well, interesting.
I'm frozen.
Well, it's probably those the kids are gaming again.
I know. That has been a big problem this week for sure.
Buggers.
Oh, look. We got different views. Nifty.
Interesting. Well, let's see what happens here. If I need to cut out and be only audio, I'll do that.
Oh, no. I don't see where there's a problem at all.
Okay.
I think it's on Marie's end.
So Marie wants the sauerkraut. Okay.
Marie, sauerkraut.
Does she want breath? What is Tic Tac other than breath mints? It's TikTok.
TikTok. Yes. In fact, I was going to mention this to you because we were talking about health stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
And when I was a young lad, I worked on my dad's farm with him.
Yeah.
And we always used to watch all the vegetables go through the packing plant, get packed in boxes, sent out to market. And my father used to always say, he's like, all those vegetables, there's nothing wrong with them, and they just throw them all away. And now they've got misfit vegetables.
Misfit vegetables? Is that like the
island of Wales? Martin, you should come on with us.
Is that the island of misfit toys, like in?
Oh my goodness! Yeah, Martin, Wales, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I can get the link here a second.
I'm still trying to find the link myself. So you put it's posted on your?
Actually, right in my URL.
Okay.
I'm gonna try see if I can post it again. Okay. But anyway, finishing my story. So my dad used to get so upset because all of these vegetables just would get destroyed, and it was really sad. And so now they have misfit vegetables. You can buy them by. See, it only wants to post to YouTube.
Very interesting.
That's so strange. I would like to post it here.
I wonder. Let me go to YouTube and see what's over there. This is. I love this sort of fly by the seat of your pants.
Yeah. Hey, Tom. Yeah. So, are you guys seeing the link to be able to join us here by chance?
See, I don't see it. So you have a YouTube. I don't even know your YouTube channel.
Oh, so anyways, finishing my misfit vegetable story. So
back to veggies.
Now there's all these misfit veggies by the box. So it's kind of cool. They actually great organic vegetables, and they box them up. So very cool. No link there. That is so weird.
I think they're just a little.
For some reason, it just wants to post it to YouTube. I don't know why. Let me see if I can fix that for a minute.
Hey, so is your YouTube channel your own name, or is that a different one? 61 videos?
My YouTube channel is my own name. It is. It is my own name. Actually,
there's one subscriber.
That's a different one.
That's a different one. Okay.
I've got a couple different ones. Fix that. All right, you're gonna probably hear me in my background here for a second.
Yeah.
Is your YouTube channel your own name? My
JohnPaduchak.com. Okay.
Yeah. So there, I finally got it posted. I had to go out and post it. But if anybody wants to come on and talk with us, feel free. We love the company.
So you have 781 subscribers. Isn't that's also an area code for Massachusetts?
Yes, I think it is. Actually.
781. Yeah, my brother has a 781 home number.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never had.
Hey, I see us now. Okay.
I got the Yep, and I got the link in. I had to go out to Facebook and post it directly. So
Oh,
if he wants to come chat with us on StreamYard, I posted the link in the comments. So
cool.
come on in, join the fun.
Can I come in? No, I'm already there.
We'd love to have you come, and we'll talk about all kinds of cool stuff.
We'll talk social media, reaching people.
Yeah, because we, I know that probably the three best places for me have been really YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. For me, that's been places I've worked on the most as of late, anyways.
Wait, so what's that again? It was LinkedIn, YouTube,
YouTube, and Facebook for me.
and Facebook. Yeah.
But Instagram looks intriguing. I often wondered whether I could get some good things happening there, but I think I could now.
Yeah, I think so, because so my wife just did an Instagram live the other day with a whole bunch of food bloggers, and it was interesting. It was totally vertical, so it was So you had the host on the top, and you had the guest on the bottom. That thing was repurposed and then shipped up to YouTube, uploaded there, and it just gotten thousands and thousands of views. It's just amazing how quickly that thing just went wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
She says she's having trouble hearing us today.
Or maybe my sound is down a little. I don't know.
Mine's seems like we got good signal and everything else. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh wow! It shows the little duck in there when I
There he is, Martin Wales.
Yay!
Hey.
There you are, Martin. What's happening?
I'm stepping up. What's happening? Coronavirus, no haircut, hair. I'm moving. My landlord's selling my house.
Oh my
God!
It's like time to move with no truck and nobody.
That's not
just
exciting.
around the corner. So
yeah. How are things in Toronto? Martin's another one from our neck of the woods.
So what are you guys chatting about? Oh, it rained.
Oh, we were talking about social media. We've been talking about live video. We've been talking about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Live video, poor quality. Do that.
Yeah.
As you're out in a boot.
The other day we were talking about Western New York.
Yeah.
And you're right across the pond from there.
Yeah. Like Ontario.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think there's a bandwidth.
Better.
Better now.
Reason up.
I got all the, what do you call them? I guess they're bars on Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Oh, good. What are you out for a walk?
No, I stepped outside, so there was some bright light, and you didn't have to see boxes and kids' toys everywhere.
Yeah, you said you're moving. Nice. So how's Martin been?
All right. I've actually started focusing a little more on video, 1-minute videos, how to do 1-minute videos, because that's long enough in social media. And a lot of people are making videos too long. They're telling too many personal stories and too many details and stuff like that. Much as we love them.
I know. You know, it's funny. I just did some work with a friend of mine the other day, and his best video right now is 2.5 hours.
Whoa.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's different. Like, is it 2.5 hours to new traffic, or is it 2.5 hours to his community?
It's 2.5 hours. It's on YouTube, so it's not really to a community, but it's he's got a good audience for what it is.
And those work. I'm not saying all long videos are different, but if you don't have good storytelling abilities, if you don't know a way to keep an audience, if you don't have a message that's going to keep hold of them, or you set them up at the beginning and say, hey, I'm going to teach you how to do a 1,000-piece puzzle and you're going to watch me, then they gave you permission to go on and on and on and on. So, it's different. But the 1-minute media is hooking their attention to get them into your community or introducing your community without boring them to death. Right. So there's people who watch epic 3-hour movies and love them. There's other people who say, oh, that movie was just an hour too long. Nobody ever says that movie was 5 minutes too long.
No.
They say that movie was, could have cut out the middle and it was great.
It's important to test a lot of things out.
Yeah. So that's what I'm working on. 1-minute videos in their place. And there could be 3-minute videos, but here's the trick. Yeah. Every minute is a 1-minute video in a 1-hour video.
Correct.
So if you're going to keep people's attention, it has to be from 1 minute to the next. And we've all heard it. You listen to the radio and they play parts of 4 or 5 songs. And in it, you hear one of your favorites. So they keep you on for an hour. Or they say, at the bottom of the hour, we're going to announce the next contest, and we're going to announce a winner, and stay with us because at the top of the hour, we're going to have the weather and the this, and make sure you don't miss tomorrow. Like, they're always selling the next minute. So in our videos, we have to sell the next minute.
Yep.
And you see that with commercials now. 60-second commercials are now cut down into 15-second intervals because you kind of remember the first time you saw the 60-second commercial.
Mm-hmm. And there's also people, like some banks are making longer commercials that are 15, 17 minutes. And a lot of them, you see them get longer when they're emotionally based. Mm-hmm. So they're like, oh, we're going to help this young lady go home to see her mother in Jamaica who has cancer. You know, there's like a story.
Good story.
Yeah, but in you know, day-to-day business, so I'm going to be working with insurance agents, financial planners, and things like that. You're not going to start explaining an annuity. No. You know, you're just going to say, are you interested in finding ways to have money come to you for the rest of your life without having to pay more?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, and then you say, hi, I'm Martin Wales, a financial planner or whatever company you're with, and we've got a free calculator for you to do that. I'd be happy to share it with you. Contact me at this number, and here's the, it's just really brief. I just find that's the biggest problem with most people in the majority of videos I see in social media. So I'm not commenting specifically on YouTube. YouTube's a whole different kind of thing.
It is.
I will say that I remember some of my best videos I've ever done are 15 to 18 seconds long in terms of the reach.
Wow. That's so true. You know my best video?
It's crazy.
Today's video tip is be brief.
Be brief.
No, I stopped.
and wear more briefs.
That was it.
Good choice.
So, so people like, if you think about the evening news, we know what happened in another country in 60 to 90 seconds. We know who's being elected. We know who's going at war. We know how many people lived, but it's very brief. So here's a trick, gentlemen and Miss Mason.
Thank you.
People often think they don't have enough time in a minute. So they go, right? Yeah. Or they say way too much. But here's to show you how much time and how long a minute is. Look at your second hand or clock, if you will, and hold your breath for 1 minute. Most people, after 10 seconds, 15 seconds, can't do it. Super cool hero studs who want to prove they're scuba divers might do 2 minutes. But generally speaking, we can't hold our breath longer than 20 seconds. That should give you the mindset for how long a minute is.
Yeah.
Right. And then just one message. The message is the message. 1 minute in and out.
One of the things I've heard when I've been learning how to do podcasting and stuff, and over the years, and I've finally been really getting a podcast show. And one of the things I've learned is for every minute of speech, plan on about 120 words. That's what the understanding is. So 1 minute equals 120 words. And if people plan their speeches better, they're going to be finding that it's going to be a whole lot easier. So I don't know. That's just a tip I've learned.
Yeah. Podcasts are a conversation. So if it's a good conversation, we don't tend to count the minutes. But I think if we speak a little faster than we normally speak, but not so fast that we're nervous and fearful, or not so fast that we're trying to jam information in.
Right. And you were on radio at one point, weren't you, Martin?
I was the host of Microsoft's Your Business.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Cool.
CFYI Talk Radio. Your news, your views, your city.
So Marie just got a new podcast. She's going to be starting with a radio station.
Yeah, thank you. That was. It sort of fell in my lap. I was not planning to go in that direction. So, anyway, it's exciting.
It's how things go. Sometimes synchronicity.
Do you want to know? It's W4, and I think it's CY or YC, but I keep getting the initials mixed up. It's in Florida. I know that. So
that narrows it down.
Yeah, it does. I'm not in there. I'm not in Florida, so I'll be broadcasting from Virginia when I do that. So
there you go.
Anyway.
So is that the call letters?
I'm glad you're no longer in space like yesterday.
That's because I'm not on Skype. It only does it on Skype. Not Skype. Sorry, it only does it on Zoom.
The
background's only in Zoom. Oh, you like the
call letters down? Yeah.
Yeah, I need to. So anyway, but yeah, I keep mixing it up, and I don't claim an age thing, so I don't deal with that. So.
Martin is an expert in sponsorship for podcasts and the like.
We'll have to get together.
Yeah.
Get together.
PM me, DM me, just Martin Wales on Facebook. You'll find me, or LinkedIn.
Mhm.
No
probably
H.
Let me guess.
No
You're
H.
probably connected to John, right?
Oh, John
Yeah.
and I go way back, but he's
We do go
older
way
and cuter.
Oh, awesome. Always looking for help. So, excellent.
Happy to help. Well, here's a tip for y'all looking for sponsors. You don't go to a sponsor and tell them about your show. You
Right.
go to a sponsor and tell them about how many people will see them
Right.
through your
Ah,
show.
The numbers.
That's the biggest mistake people make. And actually not even the numbers when you start, because you won't have numbers when you start. So if you go with numbers, they'll judge you on numbers, and most of you get kicked out because you don't have 100,000 listeners. So what you base it on is the marketing plan.
Yep.
So you say,
Oh.
I've got a list of 10,000 people. We're going to email them once a day. That's 70,000 impressions a week. That's 280,000 impressions a month that they're going to see you, and it's going to be downloaded, and we put it up online. It's going to stay there for years. You know, like you have to, you promote the marketing plan more. And you know, what are the advantages of being first before we build the audience? You're a founding sponsor. You will always be one of the founding sponsors. No one else can be a founding sponsor when we do the second season. Right? So you'll get what I call marquee marketing, you know, in the marquee of the old theaters, right?
Yeah.
They used to write the movie stars' names on those. So you give marquee marketing to your, what I call anchor sponsors. And then the other way that you increase your marketing plan is all the different places you're going to put them. So they're going to be an email. They're going to be on the website. They're going to be spoken. You're going to say how many times you're going to say their name during the show. So if I get a really good sponsor like Microsoft, every time we come back from a break on a traditional radio station, we say, welcome back to Microsoft's Your Business. So it's kind of like naming the stadium, right? You don't, you know, when they're doing the TV, they say, here we are at Staples Arena. And everyone knows that's pretty much LA, right?
perfect.
Some of the other ones are like not as well known, or it says so such and such energy, and you're like, man, I don't know where that is. Or what's actually, is it Boston has Toronto Dominion Bank? They just say TD.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, we do. Yep.
Baltimore
It's kind of cool.
Has Marine Midland Bank Stadium, which is headquartered in Buffalo.
Wow. Impressive.
Is Marine Midland still a thing?
I didn't even know.
Midland Bank Stadium in Baltimore for the Ravens.
Wow. I didn't even think they were still around anymore.
Oh no, they're big because
Wow.
the cost of living is so low in Buffalo that they've got all these great banking workers online, and it's very cost effective.
There you go.
They were my first bank.
Sorry, I messed up. M&T Bank, totally messed up.
Oh, different bank.
Marine Midland became HSBC.
Right.
And the tellers, the tellers told my dad one time that they thought HSBC was holy, the British are coming. So
there you go. But yeah, Marine Midland was my first bank when I lived out in New York.
Yeah, no, so it was M&T Bank, but it's so funny to see a team that John does not like, the Buffalo Bills, playing the Ravens in M&T Bank Stadium.
I thought the Buffalo Bills fine.
So,
but you know, I moved to a new area.
an error. It's a new era. Error.
Error.
I think Martin's video keeps getting cut in and out.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
It does.
It's infrastructure challenges. So, hey, Martin, thanks for joining us. It was great seeing you. It's been a while. Don't be a stranger, my friend.
Wales, Martin Wales. I thought it was WH, and I realized, no, it was like the...
Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Wales.
Martin Wales.
Yep. Oh, he's back. He's trying to come back.
Yay.
There he is.
Hey!
They tried.
I thought we lost.
tried.
You did good. You did good.
Cool.
There you go.
Oh, we lost you there for a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
You want some more sponsorship tips? They're hot on my head.
Sponsorship.
Sure.
I've
Go
never
for it.
Allow them to have the content offline or on their site. It doesn't have to be through your show. And then interview their executives or their marketing people or their customers, even better.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on what your show is, I mean, if it's relevant, interviewing their customers should make sense. So because Microsoft sponsored our show, we had on the president of Microsoft, we had on, customers who were using, I don't know, whatever their CRM thing was at the time.
Right.
Asked them to provide prizes. I got like $1,200 software for free at the time.
Wow. Well, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you get scarves. And then the other thing is that's how you increase the number of mentions. So every time you say the contest, make sure to take part in our, Facebook HP contest, and you can win a camera or a printer or whatever it is they're hawking.
Perfect.
Nice.
So it's all about them, not about you.
No, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's the way it always should be. It should be always all about them and not about you.
And their customers.
I I mostly
And
just
their
go
customers.
for one of the things I've been doing is, and then this is probably one of the better things I'm doing is, I'm not getting a huge amount of detail into about the show itself. I'm
Right.
until they get on a call with me, and then we go into the details and they ask me questions. But the
Right.
key thing is I just do the highlights and I focus on what their topic is. And the first thing I
Mhm.
ask in the chat is, so what is your favorite topic to talk about? And let's see if we can relate it to one of our theme for that month or that
Mhm.
that period. Because I am grouping it into themes, and then I have specific topics, which I will alter. If somebody has a better topic and a better line, I'm going to, of course, throw that in there instead, and X out my own ideas, because
Mhm.
if it sounds better than what I'm going to have, then I'm willing to be flexible. Because especially before I go and submit the form to my radio station. But I'm just getting started. So beforehand, I just sit there and just customize it to make it fit the theme. And then I just organize it and make sure I have a schedule for them. So that's what I've been doing. And that's just literally just recently as far as getting the schedule together. So I'm still a newbie on the block. And this is only my second season that I'm
Yeah.
bringing this in. And
Way to
so,
go. So is it a
yeah,
traditional broadcast radio station or internet radio or?
it is going to be a radio and a radio station. I can give you the call letters in here. I don't know if John could share that with you or not.
You can post them
But
in the comments
yeah, and
on
I'll be able
Facebook.
to do that. I'll be able to do that after
Yeah.
the show.
So
But it's
we can keep
and
an eye
it's
out for it.
yeah, it's w4cy.com, and basically how they're having us do this is they're having us go through Skype, and so we Skype them online, and then we're doing it from Skype. So that's a newbie I never thought of using for doing video or radio,
Yeah,
but it is what they're
that
doing.
was the way
So
they used to do it a lot.
really,
You still doing a podcast, Martin, or no?
I'm getting back into it, but
Are you?
I'm actually guesting more than I am actually hosting. Because here's the secret: you get more credibility by being on podcast than hosting your own. So
true.
host your own to get status, but and credibility. But certainly continue to be on other people's. I was
Yeah.
going to ask you why if it was a radio station, because if the company you're dealing with has a PR company, like if you're talking to sponsors. So when we did Microsoft, for example, they had Hill and Knowlton, one of the largest, best known PR companies in the world. So I asked them if they would utilize their PR company, and they did. So they already had all the relationships with all the press, so then it was in small business magazines, and so you've got this army working for you that you don't pay for.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
There is one good thing is I found out they already have built in kind of an audience in there. So I'm not going in there with no audience at all. I'm going in with their audience first.
Yeah.
Plus I can add my audience to it. So
Yeah.
I'm referring all my audience to the podcast area so they could go there. And I think they do get replays for it.
Yeah.
So we
Are
do
they
have
charging
replays.
you?
I did have to pay for it. Unfortunately, I won't say how much because
It's okay to start.
they gave me a discount.
Yeah.
But anything I get from sponsorships and also their affiliate links, I get to get that income.
Yeah.
So
Good for you. Good for you. It's good to start and get
Yeah.
experience doing that. But if you find that you're not getting the value, then it's easy to start your own podcast these days too, and then don't pay any money.
exactly.
So, Anchor is a good one to start with. Very simple.
good
very
idea.
That's
easy.
what I'm looking at right now. Anchor, yeah.
And nothing stops you from still doing another podcast. The universe is infinite. So you can do your show there. Like there were, what's his name? There's a guy who hosted America's Got Talent, or whatever. There were DJs back in the day, or hosts. They would do a show on the East Coast, then fly to the West Coast and do another show. So you can have more than one show. Like you see talent on more than one show now.
Oh yeah.
So don't. This is the internet, man.
Yeah, we can do anything on the internet.
You can do it multiple times. Just keep it legal, John. Keep it legal.
Yeah, I know a couple people who had three. We were talking about James Tramko the other day. He had 3 shows.
Yeah.
There you go.
You did 3 of them at the same time. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab my coffee now. Don't make you dizzy.
Go for it. So yeah, no, I appreciate all the tips. This is
You heading out?
fantastic. No, he's just grabbing.
Oh,
I'm just saying. No, he's grabbing.
I'm glad you're listening to me, Marie. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thirsty.
I did try. I did try.
He's just reaching for coffee. I thought he was saying goodbye.
No.
I'm sacrificing my frozen feet out here in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in Canada? Oh
Yeah,
my
you're in
gosh.
Canada.
Are you still in snow season?
No,
You're-
we're in.
It snowed the other day. There was snow on the ground
We
2
got
days
snow,
ago.
too.
It was -5, but now it's like a balmy 2 degrees above zero.
We're just having rain.
Oh, really?
And it's spring. It's supposed to be like 80 something degrees tomorrow.
I think it's like 50 here, but it's starting to rain.
Yeah. Well, I think the American Fahrenheit would be about 34 to 40, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Or chili.
We love our Fahrenheit.
Oh, that's
Yes,
right.
we do.
We're in that.
We love
Well,
our
this
format
is
a little better.
for sure. My family's staring at me. They want me to come help them move some boxes and
You
furniture.
should
I
do
love
that.
you guys.
Great.
Thank you so much, Martin.
Thanks
Keep
for
in touch.
popping in.
Okay.
Good to
We'll
see
be
you.
on doing this a lot. So pop in again.
Have a good
God
one.
bless you all. Bye
Take
now.
care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy moving.
So now they're 3.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was great.
I got
learned a
all
lot
sorts of
very
stuff in my
quickly.
background. Okay.
Yeah, Martin and I go way back.
I never even considered sponsorships, but a lot of people talk about them. Who's it? Jason Zook. He's got a whole thing on how to attract sponsorships. It's one of his mini courses. So
yeah, sponsorships are good, and Martin's right. It's so easy to start a podcast right now because Anchor makes it so easy.
There's a little echo somewhere.
Yeah, keep hearing something.
I wonder if it's me.
I hope it's not me. Anyway, Dr. V, about the gentleman there.
Was it gone?
Yeah.
I think it's better.
Yeah, it is better.
I just turned my volume down a little. I think that's why.
That can explain
That
it.
might be it.
So for Dr. V, what is the gentleman you were talking about just before we got the echo?
Which one?
I think it was about sponsorships.
Oh, Jason. Yeah, Jason Zook. He and his wife, Caroline, they live here in the San Diego area. And they have a sponsorship course that's contained within their membership group. Their membership group is, it's called Wandering Aimfully, as opposed to Wandering Aimlessly. And there's a lot of creators in there, people creating podcasts and doing gigs and other things, but it's quite a dynamic group. And when you join them, it's got a very different model, really, for instead of having a membership model that continues ad infinitum, they charge a monthly until you reach a certain point, and you kind of more like a payment plan. But any courses that they create, as well as their previous vault of courses, are yours for the taking. And he has one of those as the sponsorship course. But I think you can get the sponsorship course separately, I believe.
Oh, cool. All right. That's good to know.
But he had a lot of sponsors for his podcast. I mean, gosh, it was a little crazy. He's also the guy who did I'll wear what was it? Wear your T-shirt. So on Twitter, you'll find him as Jason Does Stuff. Jason Does Stuff. I always like that. But Jason Zook, Z-O-O-K. Yeah, he's on the interwebs everywhere when you look at him. Except he and his wife both hate Facebook, so you won't find him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna you could post that in the group. That would be great.
Yeah, they're big on Instagram though. They're everywhere.
Oh, cool.
In fact,
the news popped on, and you want to come in, you can join us here. You'll see the link in the comments.
We have to copy
that. Hop on with us and chat. Feel free. But I love the idea that we're doing this because right now everybody is so isolated at home, and there's only so much Netflix you can watch.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Reruns of TV shows and movies you've probably seen 20 times after a while. Yeah, exactly. It gets a little. I
started watching Pandemic the other night. I really liked it because I'm into this dystopic type of Armageddon sort of thing.
Why watch? We're living it.
Yeah, we're living it.
It makes my life seem really easy. Just stay at home, talk to people, and watch videos. Stay on the couch and save humanity.
Yeah, pretty much.
What sacrifice is that?
I know, that's true. So I did my first stream with a friend of mine that has never been on one before.
Wow.
That was fun today.
Cool. That's awesome. How did it go?
It went well. Very well. We got great audience connection. A lot of people came and chatted with us. So I think it went super well.
I'm going to go over and see what's happening on the Book of Faces.
Awesome.
The Book of Faces.
John and Dr. V get a kick out of this. My son, who's 14 and in the 8th grade, he said to me just the other day, it was like about a few days ago, and when just about the time that they were saying something about the coronavirus and having everyone to be isolated, I think it's probably even 2 weeks ago, and he's like, "Mom, I've already been prepared all my life for it. I'm an introvert. This is normal for me."
Yeah.
So for the introverts, I don't think there's a problem. It's us extroverts that tend to
well,
be.
Also, my wife and I both work from home.
It gets to be a problem for everybody.
So it's no big deal to work from home. But when you add a 12-year-old into the mix and trying to homeschool, that becomes a little more challenging.
Oh yeah.
No, I let him
A lot more
handle that.
challenging.
I let him handle that all on his own. I just make sure he gets it done. But yeah, my husband and I are both kind of a stickler, making sure he gets his work done. But other than that, he's got free reign as long as he gets his work done. So, um, yeah. So online courses are the thing these days.
I'm
So
a big fan of homeschool.
yeah, yeah.
I
There's
homeschooled my son. He just turned 21 today.
oh, awesome.
Well,
Today's his birthday.
congratulations. Are you going to set up a bar in the garage just like
I'm
the
gonna have to, because it's traditional to take your son, take your son or daughter out for their first drink, and I can't do
Yeah.
it. So we took him to.
There was that video where the father was the bouncer and was checking the ID, and then the mother was inside mixing drinks.
Yep.
So that was great.
So we took him to the liquor store today, and they sang.
Boy.
They sang "Happy Birthday" to him. Of course, that's an essential service in New Hampshire, thankfully.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
because
really?
when I was in Boston, we used to go across the state line to get liquor.
Yeah,
Because it was
exactly.
cheaper.
Right. And so,
Yeah.
so we took him over there. They sang him "Happy Birthday." Got to show him his ID. It's a rite of passage, right? 21 years old, you got to go.
You got to do it.
You got to do it.
I lived in DC. We didn't liquor stores were okay, but they were really tight back even when I was growing up. So this is 30 plus years ago. So yes, I'm dating myself.
It's
But
so
anyway,
weird.
it's
Oh,
weird.
Hey, when you're dating yourself, you often don't reject yourself.
No, not at all.
I was gonna say, it's so weird what they consider essential services and non-essential services
Yeah.
right now.
Mhm.
Like the other night, breweries are an essential service. The brewery.
Seriously,
Yeah.
You got a big brewery in town. I'm happy for them. But
I guess we're all
breweries are
going
Well,
home and
what was the
getting
thing
drunk.
about strip clubs? Some place said that strip clubs were essential services.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
That is pretty weird.
This is a non-alcoholic drinker that you're talking to, so I don't do the drinking scene. But I've heard so much and seen so much in my lifetime that I'm
Yeah.
assuming that that's a all American pastime is drinking. So
You don't have your sports on TV, so you the one element that's still there is alcohol.
this is true. This is true. I just never had the taste for it. Never developed it. So don't plan on starting either. So anyway.
That's okay.
So it's all good, but I'm glad that at least your son gets to celebrate his birthday in some fashion or form.
That's good.
Give him a birthday cake too. Don't forget that.
That's important. If I can find one.
Just make one. Heck, make one. There's box cakes cakes out there too that are super simple.
The question is, what's in the pantry?
Our biggest challenge: cake is not on my meal plan.
Cake is not in your meal plan.
No, because no sugar and
You don't do the Marie Antoinette
special
let them eat
diet
cake?
What?
Who was the one that said let them eat cake? Was that
Marie Antoinette
Marie
Yeah,
Antoinette.
during the
Let
French
me think.
Revolution.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, no sugar for me. So I've got a whole special diet plan.
By the way, my name is
Actually-
not related to her by the way whatsoever. It's just the first that both of our names was happen to start with Marie. So,
Marie.
Good.
Well,
yeah,
my-
I'm not Marie
My
Antoinette.
mother's middle name was Marie, Eva Marie. So,
Oh, that's a pretty name.
mhm.
Yeah, I was the rare one. Most of the people on my mom's side of the family were named Mary and had Mary in their name somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I became Marie, and then she ended up having married my dad, whose mother happened to be named Marie. So I still have a name. I'm still a namesake. But anyway, it worked out well though, because it was only two of us that were named Marie in the whole family, both sides. So yeah, so I became unique when she passed away years ago. But it's all good. So
It's not the
Marie's a
George
good-
Foreman thing where it's George
good-
Foreman, George Foreman 3, George Foreman 4, George Foreman 5.
No, we don't have that. Not at all. Not in
None
our
of that-
family.
none of that. That's
Yeah,
good.
we all have unique names in our family. So anyway, so that's always good. So what about you, John? Do you have lots of unique names, or do you have John Seniors, Junior, and so
There
forth?
are some very unique names in my family. So my son is Nikolai.
Nikolai.
I had an Uncle Nick who was like a favorite uncle of mine. And then my grandfather, my middle name is Estes.
Is what?
Estes,
Estes.
which is different name. And Estes was like a first name, a middle name, and a last name in my family. So it went all the way around. It's one of those names. And then Dayton shows up a lot in my family, which is a little different name.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's some very intriguing names. Very different ones.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
True.
We are way off topic though.
Well, if you go back to social media, you can talk about usernames.
Yeah, there you go.
How do you maintain your personal brand across various platforms? So I actually went ahead and I started grabbing a long time ago, even though I had no need for them, as many Dr. Vogelmans as possible, whether it was Twitter, Instagram, what have you, because I didn't want somebody taking my name.
Wow.
Good idea.
And I couldn't fit Christopher Vogelman because it was too long. You had more than 15 characters, it cut you off. See, and so that was one of my concerns. I couldn't even fit my name in words on my Twitter profile, so I had to do C.S. which was just. Oh.
So how many Christopher Vogelmans are there around?
That's a good question.
I believe there are 2 or 3.
Okay.
And
like me.
They exist in places like South America and North America. So
I think there might be another.
No, it's me, and then there's some other very distant relatives. There might be. I think there's one in Austria or Germany, and one in. I can't remember if it's Brazil or Chile. Or maybe it was Argentina. But I mean, I started collecting Vogelmans at one point when I was on Facebook. You know, some people collect cards, so I would collect Vogelmans, and so I just kept because most of the Vogelmans were burned at the stake.
Oh, wow.
In the Counter-Reformation by the Catholics for daring to be Protestants. And so there weren't many. There were a total of like 67 a few years ago in all of the United States. And there's similar numbers in Germany, Austria, other places. So there's a bunch of them in South America, and there's a few in Australia. So I'm convinced we're all related because it's such an uncommon name. We're the ones who escaped or pretended to be Catholics. So
interesting.
I like how we went right from social media ancestry.
I know,
because you let's go back to usernames. So
you never know where this podcast is going to lead, right?
So with usernames, do you go by your and if you have a name that's relatively common? Because I found another John with your last name, and that's when I was trying to find your YouTube channel. That's what came up for me.
That's because it was me.
Oh, it is you. No, I found 3 channels.
Yeah, there's like multiples of me.
Oh, so you're 3 people.
So I've got,
are these the voices in your head?
I can tell you what the one is. So one's my page and one's my profile. But somewhere along, my daughter created an account for me, and I think she created an extra. And so there's like an extra one that's on there.
So what do you do? What do you do if you do have multiple accounts? Because at one point, I think I have several different accounts.
At one point, it was like a big no-no.
Yeah. Marie Mason's like as common as Smith.
But I don't know. Which I think Facebook was cracking down on for a while, but I don't know.
Facebook. I was talking about Facebook, but like on Twitter and other places, I've noticed that I had accounts and forgot about them. And my youngest brother up in just south of Boston in Hingham, he had one account he forgot the password to, and we're all using that for the longest time to communicate with him, and he could never get in again. And so he had to create a new one because Facebook was very uncooperative with him with respect to giving him access to his first account. So,
yeah, I had trouble with my first account, and I had to use my middle name as in the Marie Mason because I couldn't do just plain Marie Mason at that time because there's so many. And then I was able to create a Marie Mason one for my personal account, but for a new one. But I had so much trouble getting back to the old account that I finally just gave up on the old account.
So you have a personal account and a profile page with your name?
Now the business page is not my name; it's my business name, because it was easier because there's so many Marie Masons and not just my 2 accounts. There's other people named Marie Mason, and there are a whole bunch of them. Some in Virginia, some in other states. So to keep the confusion down, I had to do a different name. So I had to use my business name for that.
So you wouldn't do the very best Marie Mason in the whole wide world?
No, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Now, when you guys did your branding and started figuring out your branding, because I think a lot of people struggle with this today. I know I always try to brand me and then brand the business too separately, but try to brand both because people know you. They know you as the face of the business, but then someday you want the business to go on without you.
Well, and you may want to sell the business.
Or you may want to sell the business.
Yeah.
Right. I've always focused on branding both.
Yeah. Well, because I think it's also, you see sometimes gosh, I saw one of my friends, Lindsay Anderson. She went through this whole rebranding thing. She wrote a book called One Click Method, the One Click Method. So she branded herself as One Click Lindsay, but then she rebranded like a couple months ago as Lindsay Anderson. But then she has on Instagram is the.Lindsay Anderson. But she created Build and Monetize University and Build and Monetize, but it has her name as the person associated with the business brand. So she really tried to merge them while still maintaining an identity. And I thought that was really interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
So I could be, Dr. Vogelman's Crucial Business, because that was one of my original names, was Crucial Business.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think so far on interfaces? Be Live, StreamYard?
I like StreamYard, but I missed the comments that we had on Be Live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see them?
We still have the same comment. I mean, we still have the ability
on
to
Zoom. On Zoom, could we see the? I don't think we could see the comments either. I think the only way we could do that is through Be Live.
They'd have to be invited in. Yeah.
Oh, is that how it is? Okay.
En masse to see the chat section. I mean, the other way to do it is
the other thing we get is the ticker. Did you see the ticker?
The ticker? Yeah, I do see the ticker.
Ticker.
I don't think I saw it.
That ticker is not ticker.
Look down. Ticker.
As long as it's not Tigger, we're good.
Yeah. So I kind of like that. We got the ticker feed.
I have to look this way. I have to start here.
You do have banners and tickers and things that you can put on below.
Okay, I see. Oh, I see it now. Okay, cool.
I like the instructions on the banner.
Instructions. Use banners.
Use the banners, summarize your talking points, and display.
That's important because you always want to have a call to action.
Cool.
That's the first.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny that you shared the actual gigantic link. Can you imagine typing and copying? I mean, it would be interesting if you could copy and paste.
I did think it was fascinating because I was like, oh, I like the way that they put that, because we always tell everybody, if you're going to create a broadcast, the most important thing is make sure you have some kind of call to action.
Yeah,
yep.
That was what they talked about. See,
so our call to action is to use banners. Come on back for the next broadcast. That would be a call to action.
So that was perfect.
As we experiment with various streaming platforms.
Exactly. So that's mostly what we're doing here. Is we're experimenting. We're trying to provide a little bit of entertainment because, like I said, there's only so much Netflix you can watch,
or infotainment, or Hulu,
or whatever,
or Roku. Or
whatever the case may be.
Amazon Prime, whatever it is. There's so many out there.
Yeah, the Prime. Yeah, I noticed Prime is delaying things. We ordered another mattress recently, and Prime said, this won't be available till the 22nd of April.
3 weeks.
They're prioritizing certain more essential life-saving things.
Yes, like toilet paper, paper towels, and various other primaries.
I think a mattress is essential. You can always take old socks and repurpose them as toilet paper. Just wash them in Clorox every day.
Oh my gosh.
I grew up with cloth diapers. My mother used to clean the diaper in the toilet. And then in the darn diaper pail. The diaper pail sat next to the radiator. And in the winter, the radiator was just burning hot. And the aroma from that diaper pail was just rising up. We ran as fast as we could.
My solution, Dr. B, is as using washcloths. If it gets really bad, we could just use washcloths.
Old socks. You have these socks that are single socks that the dryer or the washing machine ate.
Sean and I are like, oh no.
Is that totally sock?
Somehow we have track here.
Yeah, we really are.
We have track.
Like, we're going to elevate the conversation back to social media.
So on social media, well, everyone else is talking about it. Why not throw that into once?
In social media, to me, the interesting thing is always it's about engagement more than it is numbers. Because as I told you before, I had these 17,000 people on my business profile, but I paid for those doing a what turns out to be a bad ad strategy. Getting these 1 cent click or 1 cent likes or 0.001 cent likes from places like Nepal, Egypt, I don't know where else they came from. But the actual people who engaged, were probably under 150. And they turned out to be the 150 of my 200 friends who I brought over.
Okay, so what would you recommend as you're the best ad strategy of all times.
The best ad strategy?
For boosting
Yes.
your page or doing what?
For boost whatever we need to do it for, whether it's boosting your page or however you recommend it.
You really want to narrow your audience.
Yeah.
You want to fine tune your audience and go after more of those people.
Yeah, super fine tune.
Yeah.
The best ad strategy.
Because the shotgun approach is not going to work. You're going to have to do what, like my friend David Amerlin says. He wrote a book called The Sniper Mind. You need to be laser focused on finding those people. And you're going to pay more for those ads too, because they're incredibly targeted, but you're wasting your money if you're going after a shotgun approach. You always have to find your audience and then find a way to expand your audience.
Right.
Who's that avatar? Who is your ideal customer? And go find more of them. Who's your ideal listener for your new podcast?
I always find it interesting too. The more you narrow in on somebody, it's funny. It still floats out to people that it's not exactly for, but because
there's peripheral reach too.
Funny how it works.
I think that it's almost like Facebook has a sniper mentality that uses a shotgun. So I'm going to aim as close as I can for you, but there's going to be a little stray on the sides.
I see. Interesting. Cool.
Yeah, because we've run a lot of ads for some of our doctor clients and others, and also for we haven't done too many ads. I mean, my wife used to boost her stuff, and but I remember hearing from one of my ad gurus that what is it? Friends don't let friends boost posts because your reach really isn't that great.
Right.
And once again, it's a little bit of a scattershot approach when you're boosting a post. It's much better to take a post you really like and create a killer ad from it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very true.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not a bad first whack, but you can do better for sure.
Well, and you're always refining, you're experimenting. A lot of times if your ad bombs, it's not even because of the copy. It's just because you just changed the image. The picture didn't quite resonate with people who are scrolling through. So it's true on Instagram and anything else. You have to find images that make people stop, but also images that don't make them vomit.
Yeah.
So,
there's a fine tune. There's a fine line.
Very fine thing.
I noticed that one of the things I was saying in one of my videos is when I was making video productions, and I did a training on it, and I said, if you're going to be doing posting, what's the word? In your video productions, and you're going to use presentations like PowerPoint presentations in your videos, make sure that all your sorry, I'm losing words here today. All the pictures sort of correlate with what you're trying to do, because I don't want to. If you're doing an introduction about your family, then a family picture is fine. But I don't want to see a picture of your kid if it's not related to what your topic is. So that's one of the things I said. So I think what it is we need to make sure that those pictures relate to some of the topics, but are still grabbing your attention, because otherwise it's gonna I don't know. I've seen some PowerPoints that I cringe looking at them because they just don't match what the people were saying. So
you want that consistency. That's true of landing pages too. If you create an ad, you want your landing page to have the same picture as that ad, so that people have a certain comfort level. They're not being jarred and running away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So there we go. We're back on track.
We are somewhat.
Back on track.
Got rid of the toilet paper substitutes and ancestry. So.
Yes. We're almost up to an hour.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Well, we're at 53 minutes here, so we're coming up.
Time flies when you're having fun.
So John, do you want to talk about your 30-day challenge and promote that?
I'm grabbing a link for that right now.
Coming to you April 1st.
Yes. It is. And it is not a joke. It is real.
It's not real. It's real. I think that's the funniest part about it.
It's real.
It's not a joke.
It's not Israel.
It is real.
It is real.
But it is real. And we did. I just posted it in the chat.
Good.
I'll show it right there.
Oh,
right
awesome.
there.
Let me type that quickly.
Yeah, all right. That's why I posted it in the comments.
That was wicked smart of you.
Thank you very much. So yes, I got a 30-day challenge for live streaming. We're going to be talking about all aspects of live video and video that would be used in live streaming, perhaps. And love to have you join. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a blast. And we're going to pull out all the stops to help you come out on live video in a bigger way.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be taking this challenge. How about you, Dr. V?
I'm definitely taking the challenge. We've even talked about doing a 365-day challenge, but that's,
oh my gosh.
that's because we are crazy.
I think we should do that, because I can see us doing that for 365 days.
Oh, wow.
365.
But it'll be good. We're just trying to figure out what we're going to do it on, and I think I'm liking what I see here.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you think about all the people, they're stuck at home, they're bored, this and that, but also people are really rethinking their careers, their businesses.
Right.
It's strategy and tactics, and I think we've kind of touched on a lot of that right now.
We have,
Yeah.
and it's important. You know, they're going to be coming back to work. I don't like coming back to work. Most of us now are the governor shut us down. You know, the people who had offices that he had to go to.
Yeah.
Fortunately for us, we all work from home. So
The beauty of working from home,
we
right?
didn't have that problem.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you're going to keep me at home? All right. How is that different from my day-to-day life?
I live at home anyways. It's great. It's great to have your only commute be to the coffee machine in the morning in your fuzzy slippers.
Or tea,
So,
whatever you
I
decide,
have
whatever
a
your beverage is.
3-second commute because my office is just off the bedroom.
yep. So that's something we run.
My wife has an office in a separate part of the house, and it actually works great because sometimes we don't see each other for many hours at a time.
Yes.
Only when bandwidth is going down. Suddenly, you know, it's like, are
Yeah.
you sucking up bandwidth?
Hey, what are you doing in there?
It's like,
I know.
Oh, that's
It
funny.
works. It's always the way.
you know,
But this has been good. It's been good to kind of try things out here, test a couple things out over a few days, and
Are you narrowed down to which format you're going to use as far
I think
as
I like this one
software?
so far.
Really?
this one's pretty good. I mean, but I'm not at the control, so I don't know. But I found I had an account from long ago, and apparently I had 5 Facebook pages that were attached to that account.
Oh
Pretty
my
good.
gosh.
You know, at first I wasn't totally a fan because StreamYard for a little bit had a people had to approve to be able to share comments with
Yeah,
them.
that was really bad.
That's gone.
Thank God, because that's the most horrific thing, because you would see there, it was just, even there's faceless comments or no comments, and you know that people were actually there.
And I'm not totally sure, but I think Be Live, more people saw us when we were on Be Live.
Yeah.
Like we had more people in that saw us quicker. So
I think Be Live, I'm almost wondering if Be Live doesn't have some sort of special relationship with Zuckerberg, because between you get the chat pulled in really easily, and it does seem to produce slightly higher reach.
It does.
Yeah.
And there's always been that thing, like I told you the other day, that's run around with the API.
Yeah.
Like how each thing is perceived by the API.
Yeah.
So in that vein, I like Be Live better because we definitely got more reach with Be Live.
I mean, nobody says that you have to be married to one particular platform.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, StreamYard, if you think about it, is kind of the new kid on the block. So it's still got its growing pains and kinks it's got to work out. Be Live's been around for a little while, and then Zoom's been around longer than Be Live. So they're all getting their different kinds of kinks working out, and they all have different purposes too. I think slightly different purposes.
Yeah.
There's some other new kids on the block. I can't remember. Repurpose is different, which takes a video and then shoots it everywhere all over the interwebs. But there's a couple others that I was seeing in somebody's recent list of good streaming software.
And Restream is part of this.
Restream was one, but there was another.
StreamYard.
There were 2 others that I thought were sort of like nipping at the heels.
And I still like the old favorites, like I still like Wirecast, and I still use OBS a little bit. And Manycam is still kind of cool to use with a lot of things, but Ecamm that we've got.
Ecamm Live. Ecamm I liked. I was just trying to start experimenting with
a little growing pain when getting it going, I think.
but here's the thing. I think there's more training with Ecamm Live, but I've been told by a couple of friends of mine that they love the community that surrounds Ecamm Live and how helpful members, the fellow users are. Yep. So that's another thing to consider, who is your support?
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
We are approaching an hour. So,
All
John,
right.
do you want to end it or?
On that note, yep. Let's end it up. So let's see. So we're gonna do the daily thing.
What's the
You and
daily?
I are doing daily,
We're
even if
doing
it's
daily.
5 minutes. So,
Yeah, we're gonna be trying out different times daily.
yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll
If
do
you
like,
happen to see us now, you might
if
be
I'm coughing and laid up in bed, I'll just kind of do like 30 seconds. This is me over here.
Yeah, hopefully that won't happen to any of us.
I'm very hopeful it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Knock on wood,
And
right?
if you stopped by today, it was great seeing you. It was great having our special guest, surprise guest, Martin Wales.
That was awesome.
Haven't seen you in a while, man. It was good to see you again.
Enjoyed my
Thank you, Martin. Keep in touch.
Yeah. So everybody stay safe, stay
You
healthy,
too.
and until
Stay
next
well hydrated. Get sleep. Sleep
Yes,
patterns
lots
are
of
tough.
sleep,
Get
hydrate.
plenty of sleep.
Eat your
And
veggies too.
do a lot of
Sunlight.
self-care. Do a
Sunlight.
lot of self-care.
Veggies before wedgies.
That's a given.
Okay, on that note,
That's
thank
a
you,
given.
Dr. John.
All right.
Have
Anyway,
a good one.
on that note, come join the challenge too, April 1st.
We'll have fun.
Bye, everybody.